Are you new to RuneScape? Are you just a little stuck or confused on a specific skill or quest? Or are you just too lazy to figure something out for yourself? Well, no matter the situation, RSucation has got you covered. What is up, guys? I am Joseph. This is JosephsPlace, and welcome to this episode of RSucation, in which I try to teach you a little bit something about RuneScape. Now, what we're going to focus in on in this guide, in this episode, is the skill of farming. And specifically in farming, the pathing of how to get to the different fruit tree patches, normal tree patches, and herb patches in a very efficient way. Now, I'm not going to go into the basics of farming on how to actually start farming. That will be for another guide for another time. So if you are interested in seeing that, let me know and I'll expedite the process of that guide. But what we're going to focus in on is how to get from one patch to another in a very efficient and simple way. Now, this may not be the most efficient way possible, but what I'm going to be doing is combining simplicity with efficiency, so there really won't be anything too complicated that you need to do in order to use this method, but it still will be very efficient. So we'll be doing the 5 fruit tree patches, the 5 normal tree patches, and 4 herb patches. We are not going to be using the one in, I think, Trollheim, just because that is a little bit out of the way, and it's not in the scope of this guide. So we're just going to focus on the main 4, which are the entire patches, and not just the herb patch, because that is the only one in Trollheim. It's just an herb patch. So we're going to focus on the 4 main ones. Now I'm going to go over some skill recommendations and requirements, and then as well as the quest the quest recommendations and requirements. So for the skills, I recommend having 40 construction. If you don't have 40 construction, I would recommend at least 10 if you want to use your portal of house in Taverley. But again, 40 in Brimhaven. Having your house portal in Brimhaven, which is 40 construction, is very helpful. But if you don't have that, it's not the end of the world. There are ways around it. 45 magic for teleports, and if you don't have the magic level, say you're a pure, what you can do is just get the teleport tablets for Camelot, Falador, Lumbridge, and Varrock. Those are also an option. And then the skills required to do the quests up to and including Morning's End Part 1, Ghosts Ahoy, and the Grand Tree. Now, Morning's End Part 1 is probably going to be the most difficult out of all of these quests or requirements, just because the quests leading up to and including Morning's End Part 1 can be very long and tiresome, but the reward is very helpful and, in my opinion, very worth it. You get the Elf Crystal, which lets you teleport to Latua anytime you want, and it's very, very helpful, and it is necessary to actually use the fruit tree patch in this area. So, I mean, it's not exactly necessary, but it's very, very inconvenient to use this patch without this crystal. So let's get started. Oh, one other thing, if you want to use the Mithril Grapple, you will need 35 range, 32 agility, and 35 strength. And then, of course, the Mithril Grapple and a crossbow. And then another item you'll need is a Glory Amulet. So let's get started right into the path. So my suggestion is to start at Catherby. I like starting at Catherby because there's a fruit tree patch and an herb patch. So you get 2 patches right next to a bank. So if you need to bank for whatever reason, it's right there. So you get a lot of herbs on your first run. Might as well just bank them so you have some inventory space. So my suggestion is just teleport to Camelot, run south to Catherby, do your fruit tree patch, bank if necessary, run east along the beach, do your fruit tree patch, get that all settled, and then use the grapple to get from Catherby to Taverley. Now, if you don't have the grapple, what you can do, you can teleport to your house if your house portal is in Taverley, and then just from either of those spots, just run east until you hit the wall that divides the free-to-play area, and run south, and this will bring you right to a normal tree patch. Now, if you don't have either of those requirements, you are going to have to go the long way and probably just run from Falador. So again, that is an option, but it does slow you down quite a bit. And 10 construction really isn't that difficult to get. Even if you're a pure and you don't have the ability to use the grapple, you can still just use the house teleport tab. Okay, so moving on from that, what you do next is teleport to Falador, and once you teleport Falador, run east through the garden, through the Falador garden, and you'll see another normal tree patch. So you can get that all situated, and there is a bank right there if you need it, right south of the normal tree patch, so you can use that if you need to. And then after you get that tree all situated and planted and cared for, use your Glory Amulet to teleport to Draenor. And then from there, you can bank if you need to, but if not, just run north and west through the Cabbage Patch, and then use the Port Siram Herb Patch. which, again, is just very nice, very convenient. It is by a bank if you need to bank after that. And then after you use the Port Siren herb patch, use your ectophile to teleport to the ectofungus, and then run a little bit west past the cow pen, I guess the undead cow pen, and then you'll see another herb patch available to you. The reason I do this now is because you just had a bank in Canfis, so you just had a bank in Draenor, so the Canfis one isn't close to a bank at all, so you'll have the inventory space from the previous bank if you need it. So then just do your herb patches, pick your herbs, plant them, and if you have your other plants as well, you can do that as well, of course. And then from there, you can either home port or teleport to Lumbridge. And then the normal tree patch in Lumbridge is behind the castle. So just teleport and then run all the way around the castle walls, and you'll see a normal tree patch. So plant that, get it cared for, then teleport straight to Varrock. And once you're in Varrock, you want to run north, straight from the teleport location, into the courtyard of the castle. And in the courtyard of the castle, you will find a normal tree. So again, plant that, get it cared for, then run west along the castle wall, and you'll see a little agility shortcut to go under the wall. I'm not positive the level. I believe it's 10 or 15. But again, I didn't look that up. It is very low. I'll try to put it on the screen so you can see. But use that to get under the wall, and then use the spirit tree that's located right there to go to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Now, once you're in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, just run east, and there's a fruit tree patch right there. So you can use that fruit tree patch. And then if you run a little bit southwest, there's a bank that you can use, as well as a normal tree patch available to you. So again, those two are very close together, and again, very close to a bank, both in the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Once you do both of those trees, use the spirit tree again to go to the gnome maze. And then once you're at the maze, exit the maze by asking the gnome to show you the way. And then go west a little bit, and you'll find another fruit tree patch along the river. Now, the reason I do the maze after the stronghold is just, it's faster overall, because if you do the maze first, you have to go back through the maze, use the spirit tree again, and it just takes a longer time. So do the stronghold first, and then the gnome maze. And then teleport right away using your elf crystal to Letua. And just notice that your elf crystal does only have 3 charges. So if it runs out of charges, you do need to get it recharged at the elves that recharge it. Again, you can look up a guide for that, but it only costs a few hundred coins, and they're stationed just outside Letua. And if they aren't there, just wait a few minutes or world hop. They alternate between there and another place every 3 or 4 minutes. And again, it's only like a few hundred coins to recharge your crystal back up to 3 charges. So it's really not that bad. And you only really need to use it once a day. So it's just once every 3 days. Not a problem. Shouldn't take you that much longer. So once you get that fruit tree patch finished, what you need to do is teleport to Ardoin. You can use either the teleport or, again, the teleport tab to teleport to Ardoin, and then run a little bit north, and you can use the herb patch there. And this next part is where it strays off a little bit. You can do one of a few things. After you use the herb patch right north of Ardoin, again, just walk north out of East Ardoin and then around the farmer pen, and you'll see the patch there. You can either teleport to your house if your house is in Brimhaven, and then run a little bit north. You can use Karumja Gloves 3 if you have them, and then to use the cart to take you up to Brimhaven. Or you can, if both of those you don't have, what you can do is you can run a little bit south and east from the herb patch to the charter boats, and then charter a boat from Ardoin to Brimhaven for 30 GP. Now, the fastest way would be the home port, and the second fastest way would honestly probably be the charter a boat, because honestly, if you have the Karumja Gloves, I imagine you would probably have 40 construction at least. I don't know if that's a requirement, but I know it takes quite a few other requirements, so I don't think that one's as practical. The Karumja Gloves, I don't think that one's as practical. So if you do have the 40 construction, again, just teleport to your house, and if not, just use the charter boat that you can take from the Ardoin ports, 30 GP, and then you're at Brimhaven for your final fruit tree patch. And there we go. Now, we have run through the entire path very simply and very easily. Now, it only takes maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. I haven't tested this out recently as my old school RS character doesn't have the skills required for it, but I do have over 80 farming on my main in RS2, which I got in the same time frame. So I do know what I'm talking about, and I have gone through this many times. But I don't have the exact time for this, so I apologize for that. But that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you out a little bit in just showing you the path that you should be taking for farming. Now, if you have any suggestions on improvements for this guide, corrections, comments, things like that, leave it in the comments below. If you liked the video, be sure to thumbs it up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends if you think they may need some help with farming. And then if you really liked my stuff and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, content like this comes out all the time. So if it's something you enjoy, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't enjoy it, you're feel free to just dislike it. If there was something wrong with it, dislike it and just leave my videos. You don't need to subscribe. I'm obviously not soliciting this from everybody, but you can dislike this video if you didn't like it. If you do dislike it, just leave me a comment in the description giving me some criticism on how I can improve. I do want to improve for you guys, and give you the best content I possibly can. So if you want to help me out there, I definitely encourage constructive criticism on my videos. But other than that, that's all I got for this video. Again, videos that I will be coming out with soon in terms of RSucation will be a basic farming guide on how to get started with farming, and how to make super compost, how to get your saplings started, things like that. If you want that sooner rather than later, let me know and I'll expedite the process. Another tutorial I will be coming out with is an advanced farming guide, or an advanced hunter guide, where I just show you some really good methods on hunting red and black chinchampas. So again, that can be helpful for a few of you. Other than that, I do have a few other plans, such as a Slayer one, but I haven't gotten that nailed down as of yet. I want to work on that one a little bit more. But if you have another skill or even a quest, quests are a little bit harder, but I can try to get those done. If you have a skill specifically or a quest you need me to do and you'd like a guide for it, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to do my best to get that out for you guys. But other than that, this video is over. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you, and I will see you next time.